stuff we should be interested in. Dr. Frank Luntz, one of America's most respected communication professionals. He's the winner of the coveted Washington Post Crystal Ball Award for being the most accurate pundit. I'm reading from the jacket flap of his new book, which obviously will be a bestseller in spite of his appearance on this program. What Americans Really Want, Really. The truth about our hopes, dreams, and fears. Please welcome to the Imus in the Morning program, Dr. Frank Luntz. Good morning, Dr. Luntz.
I have wanted to do this for years. You and I have been on the radio together, but I've never been on your TV show.
I just can't believe you're being serious.
Oh, it's when you say something in the morning, people talk about it in the afternoon.
Well, they do.
What more can you ask for?
I guess nothing. So now, I know you've done this hundreds of times, but if I look away while you're talking, it means a couple of things. I'm trying to see what time it is. Bernie has written something horrible about you on the screen, or I've just completely dozed off. So,
well, I'll try to keep you awake.
Anyway, so tell me, well, first, let me ask a couple of questions. Are you a Republican pollster or what?
See, people have asked that question. This book is nonpartisan and non-political.
Well, what you're saying right off the bat is it's not even an original question, or quite even a good one. So this is not starting well.
Every question is good.
Okay.
In fact, the answer may not be effective, but the question's always okay.
Okay.
Always know how to suck up to the host, whatever the hell it takes.
Boy, you're a pro at that. Okay.
But I have advised Republicans in the past. I worked for the mayor of this city, Mike Bloomberg, back in 2001, for Rudy Giuliani, for Newt Gingrich.
Right.
But I basically stopped doing politics about 5-6 years ago because I got tired of it, and most of my work is now corporate or right here at Fox News.
Then what do you mean by corporate? You do?
Corporate, Anheuser-Busch, Pepsi, Lowe's, FedEx, American Express.
What would Anheuser-Busch have you do?
They'd have me look at taxation of beer. I mean, it's the all-American drink.
Right.
It really is something special, unique to the culture. And why should it be taxed to pay for a health care plan that the American people don't want? So Anheuser-Busch would come to me to try to understand how Americans would feel about beer taxes.
And you had a bestseller here. What was the book about word? What was it called?
It was called Words That Work. It's not what you say, it's what people hear.
I mean, that was pretty clever. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I didn't read the entire thing, obviously, because my attention span is that of a gnat. But that was pretty interesting, some of the phrases you came up with and how effective they are. Give me a couple of examples.
Death tax rather than estate tax. When you think of estates, people think of Don Imus.
Yeah.
When you think of death, they think of you.
Dying over
Didn't you come up with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's one that I'm working on right now, which is the government takeover of health care.
Right.
The public does support reform. They do believe that people deserve to be covered, but they don't want Washington taking it over. And they don't want government-forced insurance. They don't want mandates.
Do you have a sense, New York Times did a poll, I don't know how accurate they are, I don't know how accurate any of them are, but I mean, do you have a sense of how people, even people who voted for President Obama, feel about him?
Yes, his numbers, he is still personally popular. The American people like him as a person, and they can relate to him, particularly with his wife and family. But they don't like his policies. And what's interesting is his favorability, personal favorability, is still in the 60s. His job approval's in the low 50s. But his policies are now in the low 40s and falling.
It seems like, I mean, just my observation, not even as a professional, he seems like kind of a cool guy. I mean, and he seems like he's really enjoying being president. But I get the sense he doesn't have. He may have an idea what he's doing, but he's in way over his head. So.
Well, he's doing too much. One of the greatest findings of what Americans really want, really, because I know how to get that word into the title at least once a minute, is that the American people hate the fact that there's no accountability in Washington, and they hate wasteful Washington spending.
Did you see that? We're talking about Dr. Frank Luntz's new book is called "What Americans Really Want, Really."
That's 4.
What?
4 times we've now mentioned the title.
Well, why wouldn't I? We want to sell your book.
Exactly.
We don't book people we don't want to have on a program. It's not one of those programs where we don't have to have guests. So we only ask people who we want to be on. So we want your book to do well.
Thank you.
We want the Amazon number and the Barnes & Noble number to jump this morning, because you know what that means?
Money.
No, it means
profit
it's
and
effective.
taxes.
No, it just means that it's all about me, Frank. I mean, it's all about me.
But I wonder if your listeners and your viewers know how well you did in your first week here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure they did. I think I probably told them. So.
And then I'll tell them again. As someone who's involved in ratings, as someone who knows what the public wants, clearly you're delivering what the public wants, a mixture of news, information, and entertainment.
I would point out to CNBC for the before they have to completely shut down and start selling jewelry in the morning, that we're in half the homes they are. And we're not on Cablevision, even in this area,
No.
and that's New Jersey, Connecticut, and Long Island. When that happens, it's
my
over.
God.
It's just over. So don't be making any snarky remarks about us because it's over.
Yeah, in a word, you got personality.
Yeah. Anyway, back to your book. For now, I've lost track of what I was going to ask you.
The book, What Americans Really Want, really?
Well, yeah, no, I understand. That's Frank. I just, how do you know when you go and ask these people these questions? Or are the questions from the survey in the book?
Yes.
Because obviously I haven't read it. So, and here's the reason I don't. So they have people on, and I think, why should I read the book? Why not make me want to read it? So.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one question.
Sure.
And it's a good one. Which is more important to you guys, the Ten Commandments or the Bill of Rights?
Oh, well, the Bill of Rights.
10 Commandments.
Oh, yeah, because you're a religious nut.
Can't help that.
Charles has been conducting an all-white, all-male Bible study class. But by the way, Kinky Fraven and I are not allowed to attend this all-white, all-male
That
Bible
is
study
not true.
class.
You're
is it?
welcome.
And we could love the baby Jesus as much as you do.
Amen.
No, and Kinky loves the baby Jesus, and I would remind you
Yes.
that they ain't making Jews like Jesus anymore.
No, they're not.
As Kinky famously said.
Yes, they are making Jews with Spanish names, Jesus. But you know what? Jesus was Jewish. He lived at home until he was 30. He went into his father's occupation, and his mother thought he was God. And now I'll be banned from this show forever.
That's a good one, Frank. I'm talking with Dr. Frank Luntz here now. Frank, his book's called What Americans Really Want, Really. So you interviewed almost 6,500 people.
Right.
How did you conduct the interviews? Who did the interviews?
The interviews are done online
Oh, they are.
with a random sample of Americans between the ages of 18 and however old
Sure.
they get. It's weighted by census data to ensure that we got the right population, education, income, age, and ethnicity. And then we took a look at their opinions, politically, economically, and we also took a look at their behavior. And I'll give you one frightening statistic.
Okay.
1/3 of Americans, if they lose their jobs, are completely out of money in 6 weeks. That's why nobody's spending.
Right.
1/3 of Americans, 34%, are afraid of losing their jobs in the next year, and 1 out of 3 have no savings to depend on.
Okay, what personal information do they have to give you to participate in the survey?
They have to tell me their age. They have to tell me who they voted for.
Their name?
No,
Well, they don't.
no, because then it doesn't. At that point, you lose the confidentiality. I have to in here. Everything that we say goes out to the public.
Sure.
So I'm not going to ask you certain questions. But when I'm interviewing you, you can't be in the survey unless you answer every single question.
You
And
get their email address.
If you yes. And
Okay, well, they know who they are.
And if you could, I know where they are, but I don't know who they are.
Well,
And I only know where they are based on the email. I want to encourage people to participate. And by the way, it's
I
very,
understand, but what I'm saying is if you have their email address, then it's not completely anonymous.
we keep, I mean, the email
You
address
can
is,
argue with me if you want, Frank, but I have cancer. Are you aware of that?
yes, I am.
Okay, I'm
And you
battling.
look damn good.
Thank you, but
That
I'm battling
makeup-
cancer. If you want to come in and argue with the old cowboy and make him feel bad
God.
and contribute to my recovery, that's fine. The lack of it.
The makeup is working very well, although I'm just noticing you've got holes in your jacket. But other than that, you're doing damn good.
You know what that is? Somebody shot me. That's buckshot there. No, but seriously, how do you?
So we will poll them, and they have to finish every question. The typical
Right.
survey can last as long as 20 minutes. At about 20 minutes, the average person hangs up
Okay,
or
but
disconnects.
in my mind, if I have to give you my email address and I'm responding to, I don't think it's anonymous.
You're not giving us. We've got your email address already. We've got
Okay,
access
well, you
to
know,
it in 10
that's what I
minutes.
mean.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it's anonymous. So I'm going to answer. I mean, I'm trying to be serious.
Yeah.
So I'm going to answer on that basis that you know who I am.
One of the reasons why I promote the fact that I won the Washington Post Crystal Ball Award is because I want people to trust the data. I want them to feel comfortable with what's in here. It mirrors how they voted in 2008. It mirrors religious attendance. The average 40% of Americans go to church once a week. And by the way, I'm going to give you one statistic here. If you pray once a day and go to church or temple once a week, you're happier, healthier, spend more time with your family, happier with your employment situation, and more optimistic about the future.
Here's what should make people happy is helping other people.
And if you're religious,
Well,
you're more likely to help
that's all.
other, but you are more likely
I'm
to.
not religious, and I just spend almost 100% of my time working with children with cancer, and we run this ranch into Mexico. So
So you're an anomaly.
I guess, yeah.
You're
So I-
special.